you're going to see a different side of me today. A side that I would have been afraid to show in the past because it wasn't perfect or polished or exactly what I needed to be. Uh, so, but I thought, like, so, okay, I woke up today, like I actually do many days, feeling like just like if I could manifest myself as a giant middle finger, okay, and I could just walk through the world like just be a hand with a finger up and just walk through the world this way, like that would be great. Or if I could just sit, here's the big vision, right? Oh, big vision, vision board, manifest. If I could just sit at my desk today and stare off into space and watch the squirrels try to kill themselves by jumping from tree to tree. I mean, they're really not trying to do that, but you know, or just, I don't know, anything but having to perform, to talk, to, hi, how are you? Like, okay. Ugh. I have hats that say I can't people. I should have fucking worn that hat. I can't people today. I can't people today. And if you're like me, maybe you are, you have these days as well. Now, I don't want to label anything, but could be depression. Yes, in fact, I do have depression. I have anxiety. I have complex post-traumatic stress disorder. You have all these little lovely little things, diagnoses that I work with. But at the end of the day, all that means is more than half of the time, I feel like doing and being nothing. And I've had other clients that have felt the same way, where they say, like, I've had people that are highly successful. One of my favorite clients would tell me this reoccurring fantasy that he'd have. And the fantasy was he was like a highly successful surgeon, driven, super smart. And he would tell me, Heidi, I just fantasize about just being like, do you know that guy that operates the bridge? We live in Florida that operates the bridge. Like they just, when a boat's coming, they push the button up and then the boat comes through and then they push the button down and it goes down. He goes, that's what I want to do as like my life's work. I could totally relate. I was like, yes, yes. So I was thinking, because it's still important, even though I feel like, I'm not going to be like, hi, welcome to the podcast. Like, I don't feel like doing any of that today. I still want to share with you a valuable insight into showing up as your authentic self, no matter what, because that's the victory. Okay. The victory is that when you have, like, if I'm speaking to other people that, just it's hard for you to get, and now for whatever reason, maybe you don't have depression or anxiety or other mental health concerns. Maybe you're just in a toxic or dysfunctional relationship. And that's, happens to be my area of expertise is, whenever you're in any kind of dynamic, whether it's internal, intrinsic, or extrinsic, inside of you or outside of you, that's causing you to feel like a weighted, wet blanket. Okay. That's like having trouble moving through the world, like you're in quicksand trying to get through your freaking day, whether that's from the inside or from the outside, it still sucks. But you still have to go on. You're still a mom. You still have to be, bake that cheddar, baby. You still got to do the damn thing. So, how can we reconcile this? Okay. If you've been here for a minute, that I specialize in toxic attachment patterns, right? Codependency, independent attachment personality patterns, I call them. Okay. Which means when you're in a dysfunctional situation, whether that's internal or external, you try to put on a mask in order to cope and go through your day. Now, one of the masks that I used to put on like a freaking champion was the pretender mask. And the pretender or performer is somebody who grew up in a family dynamic where you were not allowed to show your authentic feelings or be your authentic self because the motto is the show must go on. It's like very Carol Channing, that da, 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 the show goes on, da, da, and you're like, it doesn't matter how you feel, you're coming in, and it's like in corporate America, toxic positivity, all those things definitely can keep having that consistent message as well, which is like, if you're in a corporate, okay, you're a corporate trainer, which I used to be a corporate trainer. Yeah, fit in perfectly. And, it's like, I don't care what's going on with you. Hey, look, I don't care. I don't need to know if you have a shit situation. Okay. I'm not interested in how your life is outside of these doors. When you come to work, all right, and you come to serve, well, you need to leave all that shit at the door. Your problems and your life circumstances stay at the door. And then you come in and you just, shine it up. It's like polishing a turd. You know what I mean? It's like putting lipstick on a pig. It's like shine it up, shine that shit up, make it look good no matter what. And I feel like my prayer is that at some point that comes to an end and we get to be a multifaceted human being, and we get to bring ourselves, all of ourselves. Now, am I saying that if you're in a shit mood, okay, that you are a surgeon, that you're supposed to like bring that in and be like, all right, who's here? Lay down. Shut the fuck up and just cut them open. All right, let me look inside of you. Shut the fuck up. No, and like that's not, no. But you don't come in because here's what happens: if you have a shit circumstance or something terrible going on with you, or you have depression, or you have anxiety, or having an off kind of day, okay, and you do this, you're gonna feel worse. But our toxic positivity says, no, 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 you're going to feel better because you fake it till you make it. Okay. Or you faith it till you make it. We say all these things. And the reality is that's so freaking tiring because I don't know about you, but here's what we do. When I used to be the performer or the pretender, I would never want to let anybody know that anything was not firing on all cylinders with me. If I was depressed, you weren't going to know. If I was sad, you weren't going to know. If I was feeling insecure or hurt or damaged or wounded or broken or jacked up in any way, you weren't going to know because my motto was suck it up, buttercup, and never let them see you sweat. But here's what the cost of that is. Okay. The cost of performing, the cost of pretending, the cost of putting the lipstick on and putting your heels on and showing up anyway and putting the glam photos out. The cost of that is a deepening of your depression. The cost of that is feeling more alone, more unknown, more isolated, more unseen. Okay. Now, here's the difference. Okay. Especially if you're in the helping profession. Okay. You have to get it together to some degree. All right. Like if I was at the absolute burrow of my depression, I'd probably be like eating soup and looking out the window and like attempting to write feelings. I mean, I definitely wouldn't be here. So we do want to make sure we're in a state where we're not going to do harm. I see a lot of people that come out and they're in a state of total harm, just in a super terrible way, and they put it out there and it scares people. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, I don't know what's going on with this person, or they want to give advice and then everybody wants to rescue everybody. This isn't a rescue mission. The point is you get to be depressed, anxious, feel broken without actually having to be broken, because being in that state for all of us is actually what is normal. Normal is a spectrum of human experience, which is some days I feel great, other days I don't feel great. Some days I really like people, other days I want to run away and hide. And some days I'm here for it, and other days I'm not there for it. But our toxic positivity culture, our performance-based culture makes us feel like that's not normal. And our self-development culture doubles down on that notion by saying to you, Well, if you haven't manifested the perfect life, it's because you can't manage your feelings and emotions and your states. And you need to be in a positive because you're attracting bullshit because you're in bullshit. And it's all this whole thing. And what it does is it intensifies people that don't like the reality is, as much as we think we have control of our thoughts, we don't necessarily have control of all the thoughts that come into our mind. And sometimes we're not even conscious and aware. So to put that on somebody and say, you got to be aware of every 60,000 thoughts you're having, you got to be aware of every single one. And conscious is asking somebody to stay in a state of meditation their whole lives. The only way that I'm going to be conscious enough to create something or to be in total manifestation mode is if I'm in a state of Jesus, like Buddha, Yoda, mentality, okay, and I'm clearing and I'm watching the thoughts float. You can't go through life like that. You can't be in a constant state of an altered state of consciousness and be in the real world at the same time. All right, and if you can, let me know, because I know even Jesus couldn't sustain it. All right, he had to just let it all go. It's really impossible to sustain that. And it's ridiculous for people to expect people to be a certain way all the time. So why am I saying all this to you? Because if I give myself permission to be who I am whenever I am, and see that as a progress, as a step in my recovery, not a doubling down on what's wrong with me, and a step-by-step process of how to like transform my thoughts, transform my feelings. If I just accept the fact that I'm in this way today, this is how it is today. This is the state, this is the thing, and I don't scramble and rush to change my state and do all the shit that people tell me that I'm supposed to do. In that radical acceptance of being wherever you are, whenever you are, is codependency recovery. It's the ability to be where you are, when you are, without the self judgment that you shouldn't be where you are or how you are. And that is the root concept of self love. So even though I can say, yep, what's the most loving thing that I can do for myself today is to be radically transparent about what's going on with me. Is when somebody asks me how I am, I'm like, you know what, I'm in a weird spot today. Or if I don't want to talk about it, I say, I'm working it out in my mind, but I'm not like going overboard extra to pretend I'm something I'm not, in the hopes that it'll transform me into something better because I think I'm broken as I am. I hope that makes sense. If it does resonate, let me know. I know not everything's going to land, honey. Okay. Sometimes that was, I was for Thanksgiving. My husband and I, now I don't, God, I hope he's not watching this. Anyway, I recently had exposure to somebody who was telling a joke, and it was like a plane taking off. Okay. It was like started to see this plane take off, and then all of a sudden, like they forgot to put the wheels up, and like and it just crashed, and the joke landed, and everybody was just kind of like a dog, like looking like this, like, oh, huh? And so sometimes we risk putting things out there that, because we're not curating and making sure everybody's going to be able to jive and vibe. And sometimes it lands flat. Maybe, I don't know if this was helpful for you, let me know. But if it's not helpful for you, this is going to sound terrible today, but I don't care. And the reason that I don't care is because I made this video for me, just to be able to come out here and be like, here's the real truth. Here's what I'm feeling like today. I'm feeling like a giant middle finger. Okay. And it's okay. It's all right. All right. Let me know if this was helpful for you. And if it wasn't, I don't care. No, of course, I care more some days than others, I guess, just like you. Okay. I love you. Take excellent care of yourself. Be you. Don't put all the pressure on yourself to be perfect, because perfection is let's be a bumper sticker. Perfection is in the imperfection. Okay. See, I'm sick of myself today. All right. Love you. Take excellent care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.